Hi everybody, Rob Dalhaus here with See You at Home, and I've had the privilege of serving with this ministry for nearly 4 years now. We've seen homelessness become this topic that everybody wants to get more involved in. So every year at See You at Home, we have this major community awareness event, and it's called One Winter Night. Last year, at our own 2020 event, we had over 300 participants. We had over 200 volunteers. And when you get that many people coming together for one common goal, one common purpose, you're bound to see something amazing happen. And so I'm actually standing here in the Orpheum Children's Science Museum, the theater of the museum, where we had our headquarters location set up, where we had our registration and our hospitality area. And it was one of those nights that you could just feel God moving. You could feel God's presence right there with us. So we set a goal last year of trying to raise $350,000. And so we came into the night, we were quite a bit short of that, but we started getting momentum, started picking up momentum. And as we left that night, we had raised just over $300,000. So we always keep the books open for 2 weeks after the event for those last minute donations that are coming in. And with 8 days left before closing the books, we got a call from a community partner, Champaign Asphalt Company, and they said, we would like to do a matching gift. We'd like to do $15,000. And so we put that out to the community. And all of a sudden, from that $15,000 gift, we got calls for people wanting to add a $10,000 match to it and a $5,000 match to it. And in those last 8 days, with the catalyst being this $15,000 matching gift, we saw another $87,000 come in. And we ended up raising over $405,000, blowing our goal out of the water, seeing God do miraculous things. Little did we know at that time that going over our goal by $55,000 was going to be much needed. When we closed the books in mid-February, just a month later, COVID-19 kind of came with a vengeance and hit our community really hard. See You at Home has many departments, including our daytime drop-in center, 24-hour street outreach, transitional housing, transportation, a work program. But we also operate the men's emergency shelter and have partnered with Austin's Place, the local winter women's emergency shelter. So we came together, and our goal was to close the winter shelters in mid-April. And then we were going to reopen in November 1st of 2020 for year-round operation. Now that might not seem like a big deal to some people, but would you believe we have not had a year-round emergency shelter for men and women in our community for nearly 20 years. We have other transitional housing programs and other voucher programs and those types of things, but in a true emergency at 2 a.m. when somebody is in need, or when law enforcement comes across one of our friends on the street with nowhere to go and it's bitter cold, we haven't had that resource for quite some time, year-round. So on April 15th, we said, we're in the middle of this COVID epidemic and we need to keep the shelters open. So we did. We kept them open through the end of April, and then through mid-May and the end of May. And finally in mid-June, we realized, you know what? We're gonna step all in faith. Year-round emergency shelter for men and women was back in our community. As we look ahead to the end of this year, we know that winter's coming, we know the flu season's coming, and actually just in a few months, in about 5 months, we'll have our One Winter Night 2021 event. That event is scheduled for Friday, February 5th, 2021, and we've been in constant contact with our public health department as well as city officials, making sure that we can do this event in a safe but also effective way. There are ways for you to get involved, and you can visit www.seeyouathome.us to find out all the information about the event, how you can get involved as a volunteer or as a financial partner, as a business sponsor. And you can also find out more information about See You at Home, the ministry, how we do, but most importantly, why we do what we do, and how we feel called to serve our friends without an address here in Champaign-Urbana.